And we're back, ESPN 590. My name is Storm, and I am honored and humbled at this point, ladies and gentlemen, to bring you a former SEC champion, national champion, Jacksonville Jaguar, New England Patriot. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you Mr. Fred Taylor on the phone with me at this very minute. And I cannot tell you, Mr. Taylor, Fred, how excited we are about you're actually coming to Panama City.
Don't make it seem like it's such a bad thing.
Oh.
It is, no, I'm just messing with you. It is my pleasure, first and foremost, having actually been in that neck of wood in quite some time. I think most recently I was out there for a wedding. But as you just mentioned, it being spring break, that's a little tempting. But more importantly, I think the main reason I'm coming out there for Dick's Sporting Goods, and I'm sure we'll get into that, that's even a better reason.
Definitely. When we will hit on that here in a minute. But as a lot of our listeners know, now we happen to be an affiliate of the Florida State Seminoles, and for those of you that are unaware, Fred Taylor went to the University of Florida. So I'm sure we have some of our SEC and SEC people will be calling in here in a minute to get some love on that. However, you want to talk about just taking one step higher. That's what Fred Taylor's done his entire career. You can talk about going to college. I just listed you all of the accomplishments he's done. You're in the Florida Georgia Hall of Fame, correct?
Yes, I am. I was inducted in 2007. The Florida Georgia Hall of Fame, yes.
It's and then it goes into just FedEx's Ground Player of the Year. You're a member of the 10,000 Rushing Yards Club, and if I'm not mistaken, the second player to be inducted into the Pride of the Jaguars, correct?
Yes, I was the second player behind Tony Baselli, and that was such a huge honor. I'm forever grateful. You know, it really goes to show your hard work. Even when you don't know how hard you're really working, you know, those things do happen. And for all the young, aspiring athletes and players out there, anything's possible. You know, when I went in the NFL, I thought I would just play 3 years. I don't know why I was thinking so shallow, but I kind of kicked it in gear, got used to the game. The good things, my hard work started paying off early by the success I had, and I was rewarded with the Pride of the Jaguars Ring of Honor induction, and that'll be there forever. As long as the Jaguars exist, my name will be there.
And I can tell you, every time, my wife is actually from Jacksonville. She lived in Bryceville, a small suburb outside, and every year we go and make sure to catch a Jaguars game. And seeing that name, I mean, every time I'm like, yeah, that's if I don't recognize anybody else's name here, Fred Taylor is right there, and you can't miss it.
Thank you.
Definitely.
It.
And if you think about things of that nature, and we always try to reach out here to the kids. Anytime we have somebody who's actually made it to the top of their game on here, we talk about the kids and we talk about all of our younger listeners. And it's awesome that you automatically bring that up, because normally we have to do it on this end, and it's awesome to see where your mind's at talking to the younger people, the next generation, so to say.
It's all, more than anything, we're in a position where we're a huge influence. And for me, a lot of people say they dreamed about this and that. You know, for me, a kid from a small town, Belgrade, Florida, here in South Florida, I didn't necessarily have those dreams. I always was competitive naturally, and I always, kept to myself and got my grades. My grandmother, at a young age, she told me, always respect your elders and be humble. I didn't know what the word meant at the time, but humility takes you far. And now that I've had some success, I want to just use that as a platform and a springboard to show, other people that come from my particular demographics, but other people outside those as well, that these things are possible. You put your mind to it, you buckle down, you keep to yourself, you stay out of trouble, and they can happen. And it's about exposure. It's definitely about exposure, and the more you talk about it, the more you can excite others and motivate others. So these good things will happen. So I always start with wanting to give back in some capacity, whether it's of time, of just speaking to a kid who's down on himself, thinking maybe things aren't going my way. or if it's financially, donating to a cause, I try to find a way to give back. And really, that's what it's all about.
And that's awesome. I mean, you wouldn't imagine how many people just don't take the time to think about stuff like that. And speaking of giving back and the opportunity to see I'm falling for it. I want to call you the legend of the Jaguars just because I've been around Jacksonville so much. But I mean, if you listeners want an opportunity to come see how humble and how awesome Fred Taylor actually is, he's going to be in Panama City Beach tomorrow at the grand opening of Dick's Sporting Goods out at Pier Park North. It's the first store to open up across from what is now Pier Park. So what times are you going to be there tomorrow?
It'll be from 1 to 3 p.m. And Dick's, they always do a great job. We'll take some photos, do some autographs, just kind of chop it up. I'll answer some questions as the people go by through line. I'm sure with the excitement that Dick's is bringing to town, one of the better sporting goods stores that I've actually been in. I love their setup. Hopefully they have a overcapacity. They can stock the gator shells.
Oh, there it is.
Stuff in that neck of the woods.
Definitely, and I'm sure they're going to be out in force.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. We're going to make sure it's a whole lot of fun.
And if I'm not mistaken, ladies and gentlemen, Saturday is the last day of the University of Florida's spring break. So if you want to make it through there to see him before you head out of town, there's your opportunity.
Exactly. Good call. Great call.
Exactly. And as far as I know, Dick's Sporting Goods is the only sports athletic store outside of a shoe store or something like that. It's the actual only sports store in Pier Park. So, I mean, go out, see the grand opening. You get to meet Fred Taylor, see him from certain times. Our sister station, 92.5 WPAP, will be on location from 12 to 2. So just make a full day out at Dick's Sporting Goods for all that matter. But Mr. Taylor, thank you so much for your time, for calling in.
My pleasure. Definitely my pleasure.
And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow on Panama City Beach.
Of course. All right. I like to say, without rubbing anyone the wrong way, go Gators.
Oh, there it is.
As always, definitely go to Jags. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Definitely so much. Thank you for your time, sir.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.